Hello, welcome to Library Connection. Thank you for joining us, and I want to give a big thank you to First Bank of Alabama for being our sponsor, and for everyone here at TV 47 who helps us put on our program. This morning, I'm joined by Peyton Crist, who is Miss Hidden River's teen, and from here in Sylacauga, and her dad, Tim Crist, is joining us too. Sorry, she gets top billing.
Hey, she should get top billing.
Thank you guys for joining us so much. I appreciate you coming out early this morning on a cool morning. Well, Peyton, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Well, my name is Peyton Crist. I'm the newly crowned Miss Hidden River's teen. I'm 14 years old. I'm a sophomore. I've lived in Sylacauga pretty much my entire life, 13 years. Been here as long as I can remember. Sylacauga is definitely a huge part of who I am. Small town, feel like I know everybody, everybody's family. I'm sure you understand that.
I do. I'm a hometown girl too. Yeah, and this is your dad,
Yes.
Tim.
Yeah, so we moved here 13 years ago. Peyton was 1. Moved here to begin youth and music ministry, and we've loved it. Just wanted to stay here. Wanted to find a place for her to grow up, and surrounded by people that we love and know and good values, and that's why we're still here. We love it here.
Yeah. Well, I do feel like I've watched you grow up some, coming in to get books when you were little bitty, and now coming in. So, and I'm so proud of all that you've accomplished.
Thank you so
great.
much.
That's great. Miss Hidden River's teen. Where is Miss Hidden River?
So, Miss Hidden River's teen is mostly located in Birmingham. There are 4 sister titles, so it's Miss Birmingham, Miss Cahaba Valley, Miss Covered Bridge, and Miss Hidden River. And it's all around like the city of Birmingham. So the story of Hidden River is there was supposed to be this huge underground river in the city of Birmingham that's as long as the Mississippi.
Wow.
That's not true,
Okay.
but that's where the title of Miss Hidden River comes from.
Wow, and that's exciting. And I know, for those of you who do not know about the pageant world, even though you're not from Birmingham, you can still compete because you're close by,
yes,
or it's an open pageant.
Open pageant.
And you can certainly get to Birmingham for their events and things like that. So we look forward to seeing how you do in the Miss Alabama's team in March, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you'll have a great time and do very well. Well, now, part of being a pageant person, I'm sorry, it's not a pageant anymore. Is it called a contest? A contest?
Preliminary
Competition.
competition. It's been called. It's called a lot of things.
I know. Yes, and I can't keep up with the name changes, but it is a wonderful program for girls.
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
know as part of that, along with the talent and the interview and the fitness and things, you have to have used to be called a platform, but now it's
Community Service Initiative. Yes, ma'am.
right. What is your community service initiative?
So my community service initiative is ACT Families. It's Adoption Can Transform Families. And it's something that, even though it became called ACT Families in 2022, it's been something that I've been doing my entire life.
Right. Now, here's the question. Why are you so passionate about this
Well,
particular?
I was adopted. I was adopted at 3 days old, taken home from the hospital by my parents. And the whole point of ACT Families is to show that adoption can transform families. It transformed my life, transformed my family's lives, and it's just there to show, like, this is a very important thing, and this is something really real that's happening right now.
Wow, that is so true. And I looked at your website, Adoption Can Transform.
Families.com. It's a mouthful, yes.
Yes, but you've worked very hard. Well, and like you said, you have worked on this or been a part of it since you were about 3 years old, or since you were able to do this. What kind of things have you done?
I have basically been fundraising since before I could say the word fundraising. 3 years old. A whole lot of popsicle stands and just going up and sharing my story, going to like banquets and just speaking my story and, just doing anything that I can to get the word out.
That is great. Your website is fantastic. If you have a chance, look at adoptioncantransformfamilies.com.
Yes, ma'am.
So much information on there. Now, tell us a little. You said you were adopted at
3 days
3
old.
days old, and you have 2 older brothers.
Yes,
is that
ma'am, 2 older
correct?
brothers.
And I have to tell you, the last time we did this interview, This is probably one of my favorites. You talked about your brothers.
Oh, I can't say that I remember, but I'm sure I had a lot to say.
Yeah. I think it was one of the, I thought, boy, you are a typical family. I mean, sometimes you think, oh, we've adopted this precious girl and we do love her, but you know, everything is just wonderful. And you talked about how one of you and your brothers argue like siblings.
Yeah.
So I thought that is so real. That is so very real. You are, y'all are a wonderful family. I know your mom too. Y'all have done a lot. But that is exciting. So I know you don't remember at 3 days old, but I'm sure your brothers do.
Your brothers do. Yeah.
Wow, that was quite. Was that a long process? The adoption.
It was. It was. It was almost a 7-year process to become reality. So by the time we were praying through this, Deanna and I both felt that we were called to adopt as a family.
Yeah.
So we started that. We started doing research. We started looking into things. We started to pray, Lord, where would you have us adopt? And so our journey actually began. We thought we were going to be an adoptive family from China. And just as we were ready to, we were 2 weeks away from filling out our dossier to be able to start that process, the requirements changed. So then we literally went around the world to a couple of other countries, and this one was closed, and this one was closing, or this one changed their requirements. And so we ended up getting connected with a group in Birmingham, and that's where Peyton was born. So we began the journey thinking we were going to be an adoptive family from China, and praise the Lord, we ended up in Birmingham, Alabama to pick her up.
That is so true. God works in mysterious ways.
Absolutely,
I know,
absolutely.
I know it's worked out great. That is amazing. I'm very excited to hear. I've heard your story and to read about it on your website. Great. Now, Tim, you worked with an adoption service or?
Yes, ma'am. I was with Lifeline for almost 7 years and based in Birmingham. And so we got to see stories from families and hear stories from families literally from all over the country that have adopted, even some families internationally that are adopting. One of the big things trying to push with that was families in the countries where the children are located. We wanted to help facilitate adoptions to be inside their own home country.
That's great. Well, listen, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Tim and Peyton.
Remember your first car? The butterflies you had on your first date? Or your first home? Remember his first steps? Or his first day of school? Remember the thrill of opening your first business? For every milestone, every memory, every first, think First Bank of Alabama.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Tim Crist and his daughter Peyton Crist, who is Miss Hidden Rivers Teen. We're talking about her community. Oh, I forget it already.
It's okay. Community Service Initiative.
Thank you. Community Service Initiative.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Which is adoption can transform families.
Yes,
I wanted to go back because you had some great pictures of being crowned Miss Hidden Rivers Teen. See if we can see those. And that's the former?
Yes, those are the former Miss Hidden Rivers Teen as well. So we're all crowning they're crowning the ones after and then the ones after, and it's like this big full circle moment.
That's your big sister, so
Yes,
to speak.
ma'am.
Yes, yes. Let's see. There you are.
As we're signing the papers to officially become Miss Hidden Rivers teen.
Yeah. Oh, you just look beautiful.
Thank you so much. That's my shocked face.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. Now, and now, is this you?
Yes, that's baby Peyton.
Oh, my goodness.
That is the day of her birth, baby Peyton.
Oh,
right
my
there.
goodness.
We had the opportunity, Deanna and I, to go visit her in the hospital the day she was born.
Yes.
She was born at like 2 a.m. and we got the call and
Right.
we're like, we'll be there. My wife says it's the only time she's known me speechless was when I got that call.
Wow. Now, tell me about this picture. Are you doing a
So
fundraiser?
on Saturday, I went to go speak at Christmas Angels, which is a ballet that Southern Dance and Performing Arts Company puts on every year about orphans and them basically them getting adopted. So Miss Mary Love asked me to come and say a little bit before the show started, and I just went up, had a cute little 30-second of why Christmas Angels mattered to me, how it went back to adoption can transform families, and then I had a table, got to talk to some people. It was really good.
Right. So you are raising money. Where does that money go?
So we have adoption scholarships. So sometimes we will have families that are in the process of adopting, and we will raise money for them, and the money that we raise will go to these families for diapers, date night, whatever these families need in their adoption process. That's what this money will go to. But we also have really big news coming up in Sylacauga. So we are in the process of getting a baby box in Sylacauga. So if you don't know, they're amazing. So if you don't know what those are boxes that are put in the side of fire stations, and moms and dads that can't take care of their babies can come and put their babies inside of these boxes and basically get them to their forever families and the families that can take care of them in ways that these birth parents cannot.
And no one will know.
And no one will know. It's completely
Anonymous.
confidential.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
confidential. And I did look that up because first you hear put them in a box. And I'm like,
Right.
really? But and tell me if this is correct. They place them in the box, which of course is locked, and it alerts
Yes, ma'am.
firemen or
Yes, ma'am.
someone.
A silent alarm will go off that cannot be heard on the outside, can only be heard on the inside of the fire station. And the first responders can come and get the baby and take the baby to the hospital, check up on them, do all that, and then the babies will immediately be placed into the hands of DHR and put into foster care, and then be taken to their forever homes.
Wow.
There's also a silent 911 call that's placed, so the babies get medically cleared. They are the hope and desire is that as soon as that call is made and baby is cleared, that the baby would not go into a foster care situation, but would actually just be directed straight to
a family.
forever home.
Oh my goodness.
And the boxes in Alabama come with a camera mounted inside as well, so that there's a camera fixed on the child. It is not external at all. It's not on the parents. There is complete 100% confidentiality and opportunities to surrender. And really, it's a plan. It's a plan for that child to have a hope and a future and a life outside of what those parents think they could or could not provide. And it's a beautiful picture of just a heroic decision on the behalf of the parents.
I'd like to think that doesn't happen, but I'm sure that it does. A lot of moms or dads just are unable
Yes, ma'am.
to, and this is a way they can do it. And the baby's well taken care of.
Absolutely.
Wow, that is great. Now, you mentioned money, that's coming soon. You
Yes,
said- or-
we are raising money for that right now. Partnering with Mayor Hubbard. Super, super excited, just getting all those funds together. We're hoping to raise $2,500. $25,000. My bad. To cover at least the cost for at least a year.
Yes. Oh, I didn't think about that. There's a cost every
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Well, you're going to continue this, so I think the money will be there. And you've raised some money already. Do you
Yes,
know about
ma'am.
how much?
So far, we've raised $13,000.
That's great.
That's overall. That's for all the fundraisers and things we've done, not
fundraisers.
specifically for the baby boxes, but she's been a part of over $13,000 being raised for adoption awareness and adoption scholarships for families.
That's amazing. Okay. What about the cost to adopt? You know, you can speak to that a little bit.
I can, and it really varies depending on the avenue of adoption that families are called to. So if you go through, adopt through DHR, through foster care, there are some costs. It's minimal, all the way up through a private adoption, which private adoptions and international adoptions in some countries can run you over $70,000. So there's great cost with it, but one of the great things that we've seen with families that we've been aware of is when you get to see the Jehovah Jireh of adoption, right? When God calls you to do that, He's going to take care of all of the things that seem insurmountable to us. We have some great partnerships with some organizations that help with further adoption scholarships, and so there are numerous opportunities to help get some of the costs taken care of on top of just fundraisers in the community and opportunities there with families to raise some funds toward bringing their child or children, if they're adopting a sibling group, bringing them home too.
Because there's so many families who would be great parents, but just the finances are not in line there. But that's great. So that's part of what you do.
The scholarships are, yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now, talk about your website a little bit. I know, as I looked, it has adoption resources. What would that be?
So we're looking at just information. Where can we help direct families that may be interested in adoption to learn even more? We want to connect them with not only those resources, but then also agencies that can help facilitate the adoption for the family. So we want to make sure that when folks come to our website, they're easily connected wherever they need to go.
That's great. And another part I see is educating the public, which is kind of what you're doing right here and what you're doing every time you talk.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're welcome. You're open to coming and talking to other groups.
Oh,
things
yes,
like that.
absolutely. We're trying to get as many appearances as we can, just getting ACT families out there, showing who we are, what we do. This is a real thing. We're real. We're not trying to scam you. We're really just trying to get these kids to their forever families.
Wow, that's a great cause to work with. What about foster care? That's also on your. Sometimes that is the step before
it's the step
adoption.
Before, yes,
I
ma'am.
think.
So I have never been in foster care myself, but I have been a foster sibling. So I have seen secondhand what it's like to be in foster care. Moving from one house to another, trying to find, okay, do I call you mom? Are you my mom, or am I about to leave and have to call somebody else mom? So it's really just this tragic situation, honestly, of these kids not knowing when their home is going to be their home. Right. Which, and if I could have it my way, there would be no foster care. You just like, we'll take you, but there's so many more steps that come with that.
There are. Wow. Well, you are right in the middle of all of that, working toward telling us about it and everything. We're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Tim and Peyton.
Remember your first car? The butterflies you had on your first date? Or your first home? Remember his first steps or his first day of school? Remember the thrill of opening your first business? For every milestone, every memory, every first, think First Bank of Alabama.
The Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
The all-new Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our remodeled and expanded pharmacy gives us the space to serve more patients. We've added a drive-through window for those times when you don't feel like getting out of your vehicle. And we still offer delivery within city limits. We feature a full line of over-the-counter medications and supplements. And don't forget our stunning new gift department. New building, same great people. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection, and I want to give a big shout out to First Bank of Alabama for being our sponsor. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad we're having this program today. I enjoy talking with you, Peyton, and your dad. We've been talking about, of course, your Miss Hidden Rivers team, but also the work. Even if you were not Miss Hidden Rivers team, you would still be doing this work.
Absolutely.
I know it's not just for that. It does help. That's a wonderful thing to get. It gives you a platform to get the word out.
Yes,
but you've been doing this for a long time. I know I saw on your website you've worked for Stand for Orphans, Royal Family Kids Camp. Tell us about some of those things that you've done.
So Royal Family Kids Camp is a camp that I went to myself for 5 years. It is a camp for adopted kids and kids who are in foster care to go and be with other kids throughout the summer. It's 1 week long at Chaco Springs. We're just all together. You know, we're not talking about how long have you been in foster care. No, we don't want to hear that. We just want to all be together and have fun, take a week away. It's just an amazing experience. And then after I graduated at 12, I got to come back last year and be a counselor in training. So that absolutely means the world to me. I had to go through 40 hours of trauma training just to be able to go volunteer at the camp. Because we're working with kids in foster care and these kids that have been adopted, you never know who's been through what. So there are so many more rules to RFK training than just a regular summer camp because all these kids are different. So I went through 40 hours of that training just to get certified to volunteer, but it was absolutely worth it to go and spend the week with these kids. Got to see some kids, they were like, hey, you were here once. Like, you got to, we used to go down the slide together, and now you're my counselor. And it's like, but it was just so amazing. And then I volunteered at ABCH camp this year as well. Never been there before, but it was also an amazing experience getting to work with these kids. And they're like, you're adopted? And I was like, yeah, I am. And they're like, well, that means then I can be adopted one day too. And I was like,
goodness.
I know. I'm like, I know.
Wow.
But I was like, I literally left ABCH camp and left RFK. And was like, Mom, it was so hard to watch these kids have to go back to their foster homes after being in a camp all week. And it's like, because your lives at camp and your lives at home may be completely different, and we don't know, and we don't want to know, because all we want is for you to have the best week at camp and not care about what's happening back at home.
I know that means a lot to them that you've been there. I mean, you were not in foster care, but you are an adopted child.
Yes,
and so if they, I know you said they don't want to talk about those things the week they're at camp, but if they need to, there you are. Oh,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can't do this. I'm going to cry. I can't do this. That is exciting. You think you'll keep doing that as long as you can?
Absolutely. I also, there's another camp at Chaco called Camp Happy Days. I only graduated that one 2 years ago, so I had to take last year off, but hopefully this summer I can volunteer at that one and RFK
Wow.
and ABCH.
Now, what is ABC?
Alabama Baptist Children's Home.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Gosh, I know it means a lot, like you said, to the kids to see you. Hey, we used to slide together
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. That is exciting. Now, you also work with something called Stand for Orphans. What
Okay,
is that?
yes. So that was quite some time ago. But Stand for Orphans are the popsicles, and I used to have fundraisers, and we would sell the popsicles.
Yeah. And the money all went to.
Went to Lifeline,
Lifeline.
specifically for
Yes,
orphan
yes.
care and whatever they needed to help fund with that.
Wow. Well, that is exciting. Well, Payne, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
I know for all you've done, and lots of support from your parents.
Yes,
I know your
ma'am.
dad, your mom sitting over there, giving you cues or whatever. But that makes a lot of difference too. I know it
Yes,
does.
ma'am.
Yeah. What are your future goals? I got them from your website, so I know some of them.
Yes, ma'am. So I hope to go to Auburn with a major in social work and a minor in dance and musical theater. I
War
want to-
Eagle.
Yes,
yeah,
War
Good
Eagle.
for you. Yeah.
But hoping to be a Tiger Paw, which is the Auburn dance team. That would be a dream. Hopefully be Miss Auburn one day. That
Ooh,
would be
yes.
that would be really cool. But Auburn's a great school, a great community. Toured it at least twice. You know, I've still got 2.5 years, but you know, just trying to get my plan ahead of me. It may
Sure,
change. It may change 5 more times, but right now that's what
okay.
I want.
It's good to start with
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
And to be crowned Miss America one day.
Yes,
Good
that would
luck.
be
I'll be pulling for you.
Thank you so
That'll be
much.
great. And you said you want to adopt. maybe
I
one
do.
day.
That has been a dream for a long time. Maybe have children of my own, but for sure want to adopt.
Wow, that is exciting. Do you have any other events coming up?
We
I know you were
have-
just crowned the other day.
Yes,
or with adoption.
We
events.
have 3 Christmas parades coming up. I'll be in the Sylacauga Christmas Parade, the Leeds Christmas Parade, and the Helena Christmas Parade. And that is, the Sylacauga one is December 4th.
Yes.
So coming very, very soon. Hoping to have some more appearances coming up. You know, just going wherever
they
anyone
tell
needs
you.
me. Yep, wherever anyone
That's
needs me to go.
right. One thing I did not cover, I realized looking through my notes, maybe I don't want to adopt children. I'm too old to do that, I think, right now. But what can I do to help?
That's truly what these fundraisers are for, because even if you aren't called to adopt, you
Right.
can always be called to do something. You know, these families that are adopting,
Yes.
they need all the help they can get, whether it's emotional support or giving them money for something.
Yeah.
Like, these families cannot go through this process alone. So even if you're just there to support them through their process, that would mean the world to them.
Wow. What kind of things can that, just to be there, if you have friends? You've been there. What helped you?
Gathering your church family together to pray for you during that time, that was a big thing for us. We, the adoption journey is a long one, and it has some bumps and some hurdles, right? So there are some things that you get to work through, but having people there beside you to encourage you, to pray for you, to pray with you. We had people come to our house to pray with us at times. And then when you get to see it all come to fruition, it's pretty sweet, pretty special. So pretty amazing journey. But there are ways, like there's one of the things that folks did for us when we were fostering as well was would bring us meals just so we didn't have to cook, right? And it's not that we don't want to cook or we don't want to provide, but it was a way that helped us form a little bit more attachment with the kids that were in our home at that time. We didn't have to think about it. We didn't have to do anything with it. People would bring the meal, pray with us, bless the meal with us, and then just go about their way so that we could have that time together as family. So
Have
that
a
was
family evening together?
family evening, and so that was sweet. We had people do that for us. The most recent time was twice a week for about 5 weeks, and it was just really nice to have that opportunity. So that's a way you can also serve families who are fostering and or adopting.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. Well, you've given us lots of ideas of things we can do to adopt or foster or to just help. Thank you so much. Peyton, like I said again, I'm so proud of you. I know y'all are very proud of her.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for joining us
Thank
on
you for
Library
having me.
Connection.
Thank you.
I'll be looking for you now in
Yes,
Miss Teen, Alabama.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us on Library Connection.